Hey everybody, it's the one-man drywall army. I'm coming back at you today. And in today's video, it's going to be about mesh tape and paper tape. And what type of muds you should be using while you're using either one. It's not about which one I think is best, because personally, what I believe is that they both serves a purpose. In the right situation, this one will be better. In another situation, this one will be better. So today's video is just going to be about the do's and don'ts, the type of muds that you should be using, where you can use this type of tape at, where you shouldn't use this type of tape at. Okay, so let's start with the mesh tape. Right off the bat, I'm going to have to let you guys know, because I know some of you guys out there have done it and are still doing it. And you guys, not sure where you guys get it from, but mesh tape should never be done on inside corners. Mesh tape was designed for flat surfaces only, butt joints and recessed joints. Now mesh tape should never be used, especially for the first and second coat with lightweight mud or any box mud for that matter. Mesh tape should only be used with hot mud. Now you can follow up on the third coat and do a tight coat. Once you've done 2 coats of hot mud and mesh tape, you can follow up with box mud, and that's absolutely okay. Now, as far as paper tape is concerned, paper tape, this stuff right here, I know a lot of people only use it and will use this only. The reason why I lean towards the mesh tape is because it allows me to put 2-3 coats on the same day. With paper tape, because this is the type of mud that you have to put it on with. You have to tape it on with this. It's a full body. It's not lightweight. It's full body. It's got high glue in it, and for that reason, these two go hand in hand. You can use paper tape on any areas of the wall. Inside corners, flat ceilings, doesn't matter. But you cannot tape corner bead with this. That's the only thing you cannot do. Now, mesh tape is what I use to tape corner bead in any angle or any trim or metal. Unless you're using paper faced corner bead or any trim of that matter, then you would tape it on once again with the full weight. One thing that I think it's important to remember is that this lightweight stuff here, even though the box says TNT, taping and topping, this mud right here is not designed to tape. It will fail you. Unfortunately, I've seen this stuff peel right off of walls a month later. And so if you want to avoid any problems, just don't tape this stuff on with this. In fact, never use the lightweight stuff to do any taping, because if you tape and then use box mud, especially if it's going to be a smooth surface, you're going to run into problems with cracking. I'd like to kind of backpedal a little bit about the mesh tape and the hot mud combo. The supplier, the manufacturer even specifies on the packaging, which I'm going to show you guys a picture of, it also specifies that to avoid any cracking, that fast-acting compounds should be used, and it's pretty amazing how a lot of people have never read that, but there's so much truth to that. So yeah, you want to use mesh tape and fast-acting muds together. They were made for each other. Okay, so now I want to get into a little bit about the when to use mesh, when it's okay to use mesh, and when it's not okay to use mesh. And so I'll start with when it's not okay to use mesh. And most of the times it really comes down to the type of texture that you're going to get. For all smooth finishes, you want to go with the paper tape it on with the full weight. If you decide after it's taped on that you want to use hot mud for the second coat, yes, that's doable, you can. But I would only use hot mud in situations where it's going to be a spray texture. Anything that's smooth, I avoid using this stuff. And that's just because this stuff here doesn't really sand. It doesn't sand smooth. And so you're going to have marbling, and you're going to have problems if you take that route. So when it comes to a smooth wall, I definitely use these two products. I use the lightweight on the skim coat part of a smooth wall finish, and I also use this for the first and second coat. Then I follow up with the tight coat and then the skim coat with that. And so that's when I use that's the reason why I use paper tape on smooth, because it's not going to crack. Now, I've seen people use this stuff here on smooth walls, and I've heard from people that have got this problematic crack in their wall, and it happens to be smooth, and they tell me, I've got this crack and it just keeps coming back. I don't know how to get rid of it. And the first thing I asked them, did you use mesh tape on a smooth wall? And they would tell me yes. And so I tell them, my response is that, well, what you need to do now is you got to get this stuff with the glues in it, and paper tape and cover it. The paper will cover the crack, and so it should never be visible ever again. Problem solved. On a smooth wall, what I do is I use paper face corner bead, and I always put it on with this mud. This mud right here is my go-to mud for taping on. Anything with the paper face, or anything that needs to be taped, that needs to be mudded on. So it doesn't matter if it's no coat. I'm using no coat. I'm going with standard paper. This is my go-to mud. This mud right here is my go-to mud for skim coating and hand texture finishes, mainly because it's softer. It has less glues in it, so it makes it a lot easier to sand. And for that reason, that's the reason why I like this one. All right, there you have it. Put out some really good information about taping and in which muds should be applied to which type of tapes. Now, with that being said, at the end of the day, ultimately, the choice is yours. You have to get out there and practice and see what works and what don't work. But I would like to add is that everything that is on my channel and that I share with you guys freely is always going to be the truth. And it's always going to be something that I do on jobs that I do. So with that, I hope you liked the video. Please feel free to like it, share it, hit subscribe, leave a comment down there at the bottom telling me that you liked it, or even just leave a comment asking me a question if I didn't make myself clear. Until the next video, you guys take care and have a good day.